That boy A1 singing at 10:30 at night. Who the hell sings at 10:30 at night?
Hey
I guess
man,
Chris do. I
when
mean,
you
hell,
have
it is what it is.
and when
But
you have
what's going on, y'all?
training camp, man, training camp make you do that.
man, man, look, I had a ball Thursday. Took a lot of pictures, man. Had talks. Man, we had a great time, man. And shout out to Berto Big Low. Well, Berto brought his family, so shout out to sister-in-law Ebony, the kids, Alex and Alani, man. Shout out to them. I met them for the first time. It's always exciting when you meet your niece and your nephew, man, for the first time. Cause I mean, those kids, man, he has very memorable kids, man. Cause they're raising those kids, very, very well. So shout out to Alberto and the family, man. Shout out to Big Low Country, man. Got a chance to chop it up with him all Saturday. We had a blast, man. Jack Spade, one time for the fan. Big Low Country Sports. Got to meet D-Led for the first time. Took a picture with D-Led, man. We had a blast Thursday. So sorry I couldn't make it Saturday and Sunday, but plans come up and I had prior plans. So hey, it is what it is. Floyd Dunley, what's up, my guy?
It's all good.
King
I know I
ATL supporter, what's good? My brother Big John, he gets it third, man. He came in chopped up with it for a second. He might still be in the chat. But shout out to him, man. He had a quick question before we start. He said, just chill out with Darnell Mooney's shoulder. It's just a sprain. Anyway, looking for a great season this year. Think we address the defensive line. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree, man. Yeah, and we're gonna get into that in a second, man. With Darnell Mooney, because a lot of y'all were freaked out about it. But we're gonna always start with the elephant in the room, man. The guy named Kyle Pitts, whose names always come up in the talk. Willie Butler, what's good, my guy?
what's going on,
Dirty
fella?
Bird 67, what's good?
What's going on?
Yeah, man, but we had a blast on Thursday. I know you came back Saturday, I think, and
Yeah,
you saw some things, and we're gonna get into that. But Thursday, man, me and Big Low was talking, man, and we were sitting there watching Kyle Pitts run, and he looked a little bit more fluid this year. And as I said, we knew that knee was going to take a couple years to heal. And we've talked about trade rumors and all that all off season. And Michael Penix has actually gave his word of encouragement for Kyle Pitts, and you saw it in the press conference. You've been seeing it all season. So what you've seen, and you would ever meet Thursday, from what you've seen so far in training camp, Kyle Pitts.
well,
Is this the year he turns it around finally? Because I actually think the Falcons need him to be that guy still. And we're not even talking about the number 4 pick. Still not talking about what's been happening with all the other stuff. But if the quarterback is giving you a vote of confidence, you got to take that and run with it if you're the media. And he's been showing it in camp early. What do you think the future holds for Kyle Pitts and Michael Penix? Could they be the next best quarterback tight end duo? It's a possibility. But what do you think? And
I
y'all can
mean,
follow along in chat.
well, like you were saying, I mean, Kyle Pitts is looking fluid. I feel like that they've been working him out in some wide receiver drills as well, trying to get back to that. I mean, again, like he looks like he's healthy. Look at least healthy enough to run. So I mean, he
Right.
was looking fluid again. I mean, like you were saying, he could possibly be that focal point. Michael Penix said in his press conference, it's funny he came in. Y'all seen I got Kyle the ball. So he said it's going to be a lot of that. So we're going to, because I think that he's emphasizing the fact that the relationship, they're golfing together, they're going different places, they're seen out in public together. So they're getting like that real camaraderie together. And I do believe that he's going to make it a focal point to get Kyle Pitts the ball. Again, he's that mismatch, too big, too fast for the guys across the middle and too big for the guys that's trying to cover in the secondary. So it's time for him to step up. And that day, first day, again, he did look fluent. He was pretty much the best receiver on the field that day, just as far as his movement, as far as catching ability, catch radius, and just running down the field. Overall, I feel like Kyle Pitts, was showing us on day one that, everything that we was kind of like looking for to a degree. But of course, that was only day
Absolutely.
one. And for the Saturday, though, he was not in the 11-11 drills and whatnot. I believe that probably was a maintenance day because like people were saying like Jalen Walker wasn't out there today, and so Kyle Pitts, he wasn't out there for those drills and everything. So that could be, like I said, they just taking it easy. Don't want to run him into the ground too much. But he
Right.
did look good first day of training camp, I must admit.
Absolute facts. And the reason why I think it's going to work, they say a tight end is a quarterback's best friend because he's a safety blanket. And that's true,
Right.
especially to a quarterback going into just his second year and really going to his first full year as a starter. Yeah, he's played 3 games last year, but now the NFL has film on how to defend him. And now he has to counteract that. And the offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson, has to counteract what the defense is going to throw at Michael Penix. And to do those shutdown routes, those quick slants, things that can get Kyle Pitts to football, because we know if you catch Kyle in stride, you might be working with something, because that 4.4 speed and that 6.6 frame can be difficult for anybody, any defensive back, any linebacker to cover him. So when you talk about great tight ends, Rob Gronkowski and a guy, somebody asked me on my YouTube about Tony Gonzalez, man. I could see them using him as a Tony Gonzalez. He could be a Tony Gonzalez, but you got to realize with Tony Gonzalez, he had a basketball background. He played basketball at college in California, and he used that to his best of his ability when he turned into an NFL tight end. So I could see Kyle Pitts fill that role as a top tier tight end, like a Gronkowski, like a Gonzalez. And I'm not saying that he's going to break their numbers. I'm just saying he can have that type of effect on the game with the right quarterback. And he said this offseason, going into this season with the same quarterback is a big plus for him, because he's had 3-4 different quarterbacks his first 4 seasons. So it's just something to think about.
Yeah, it's not just that about Tony Gonzalez, about the basketball background. Tony Gonzalez had the work ethic, he had the intelligence,
Absolutely.
all that things, so that plays a part into it. It was more than just athletic ability with him. So I mean, again, Kyle Pitts, he already has those physical tools, already that specimen that can be that mismatch against anybody on the
Right.
field. It depends on if he's used right. So it's going to be like, again, I said it before earlier in this offseason, and I'm gonna come right back to it. It's going to be collective. It has to be quarterback, Kyle Pitts, and also the play caller. Everybody has to be on the same page. And this is a contract year for Kyle Pitts, also. So you got to think about it. Michael Penix is going to at least, feed him. I mean, I don't think he's going to be like more so force feeding, because we do have plenty of weapons. But I do believe that he's going to be looking Kyle's way more so than what Kirk Cousins did, because we've seen plenty of time on film, plenty of time in all 22s to where Kyle Pitts can be running free, and Kirk Cousins doesn't even look this way. Never mind, so just overlook him or looking past him. He doesn't even turn his head to even look that way.
Yeah, honestly, how many defensive backs or linebackers, well, let's just say linebackers. How many linebackers in the NFL do you know that can actually cover an athletic guy like a Kyle Pitts? Not many.
It's not
There
many.
are some linebackers that can cover, and are very good at covering. But Kyle Pitts is just another. He's just another freak of nature, man. All he has to do is apply himself. And all Zach Robinson had to do, like I've said before, all he has to do, all he has to do is scheme and game plan for him to get to football. And they're going to have teams this year that have more run stopping linebackers than they do cover linebackers. So he's going to be a mismatch in a lot of football games this year. And if Darnell Mooney, Drake London are to have big seasons, Kyle Pitts, even Bijan Robinson, any 3 of those other weapons are going to have a big season. Kyle Pitts is going to have to be the reason why. Because if
Right.
he controls the middle of the field and the run game gets going, guess what? The play action start working. The no huddle start working. That's when this offense starts to ticking. So Zach Robinson, he's the X factor in all this. And I just think what I saw Thursday, how fluid he was moving. I haven't seen Kyle Pitts run that fluid since his rookie season. So we'll see how it turns out. We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, what I'm saying, we got that 9-8 connection, just like we know we're gonna have that working shift, that 9 to 5 connection with Drake London. Somebody who he did
Right.
have a tough day too. I will admit that. I mean, just a couple fumbles, but at the same time, that's just our defensive backs trying to, dislodge the ball away from guys, getting into
Yeah,
that
so
habit now.
right,
So shout
right.
out
So
to
that's
you
actually
know,
a good thing. It's bad for the offensive players, but it's also good that they're learning how to, force turnovers already. So
right,
it's really a win-win because
yeah,
Drake
of
London
course.
is going to have to Drake London is going to work on that, while the defensive backs are working on a technique that could possibly get them more playing time. So I mean, either way, it's a plus.
Yeah, I was going to say, DeMarco Hellams was one of the guys that punched out the ball after the London catch. So that was a good situation for him. Arnold Abracady was out there. Him and Leonard Floyd has mostly been the guys that's coming off the edge. And I also
Right,
noticed that Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. they're continuously keeping those two guys together, working mostly with the second teams. But anytime that you see them, they're normally going together, and that makes sense because that's going to be your future.
facts.
For day two, also, I noticed that Brandon Dorless was running with the first teams, and I know Xavier Watts did get some first team reps too. But guys who are standing out in that secondary, actually, like Lamar Jackson and Natron Brooks, they're actually been having some good reps too. Breaking up passes, being aggressive, making good tackles. The having the tackle formation, and everything set up. But guys, like you gotta think about it like this too, man. It's a guy there named David Steels that's out there catching everything just about that's thrown at him, just like Jamal
Right,
Agnew. Both of those guys were catching just about everything that was thrown at them in day two for sure. And I know Agnew, he did not Agnew, I'm sorry. Steels, he had a touchdown against AJ Terrell. It was a good rep, so I'm sure AJ would want it back. But so of course, still happy to see that the young guys are out there competing. So you like to see that, man. It was all, it was all good stuff. Steels, he's a 6'3" former quarterback as well, too. So that's more
right.
versatility again, just all the way around. It's just you just see that those guys that can do multiple things. That's the type of team that the Falcons want to have.
Yep. But we got a little scared the other day, Thursday when we were there, and we were actually talking when we saw this happen with
Yeah,
Darnell Mooney. And
yeah,
Chris said, "Oh man, so that didn't look good.
it
with,
did.
with, with what the world going on?" And this is what happened. He suffered a shoulder sprain. First day of training camp, we were there, walking around, hanging out with the wide receivers on Saturday. So he seems to be back to himself, and that is an absolute good thing because we don't need them problems. Because trust me, we need everybody we can get when we can get them. Because
Well,
at the end of the day,
like
uh,
this, with him having those good spirits and like he was out there just coaching. Like honestly,
right,
he wasn't
right,
just necessarily like chilling. He was coaching guys up. I know Chris Blair. First of all, he had a good day all around as well too. Don't want to forget about him. So yes, Agnew as well, Steels, but Chris Blair had a great day, especially on day two as well, from what I saw. But it was in the beginning. He did he did drop a pass, and Mooney came over. They kind of met. Mooney, you could see him kind of like talking to him, coaching him up, was like just saying, hey man, you could have did it this way, that way, and you love to see that because even though he is going through his own ailment, he's still out there,
right.
being that good teammate, and that's what we need.
Right. And if y'all haven't checked out our video training camp battle with the wide receivers, please go check that out, man. That was a great episode. Got a lot of feedback from the fans. So y'all can please go check that out on Smitty Sports Machine or A1 Forever. And y'all can see it. But yeah, man, it was a scare. And like Big John said at the beginning of the telecast, it's nothing to worry about. It's a shoulder strain. It happens. And honestly, it could be a good thing because it gives him more time to rest before the season starts. He's a veteran, so he knows how to prepare. So he's going to be preparing behind the scenes, in the weight room, in the film room, and things of that nature. So he's not going to be behind. It's just a matter of getting back into game speed, which he's used to since he's a veteran. But there was a lot of surprise too, with the signing of DJ Chark, who was formerly of the Lions and the Carolina Panthers, and was drafted by the Jaguars in the second round. He's been around a while. He's been hurt a lot the last couple of years. But when he's healthy, you talk about a guy with 4.3 speed, decent hands, and you add another weapon to this offense, give Michael Penix another deep threat. So my question to you in the chat, will he find a way to make this roster? Because you just talked about Steals. We've talked about Chris Blair, and we gave on that receivers training camp podcast show who we thought was going to make the roster. Now that we have this guy, the veteran, does he sneak in and take someone's spot? Because as I've said, Cordero Hodge and Jamal Agnew, I feel like with their special teams prowess, I feel like they're going to be locks. But could he find a way to stay as a number 6 receiver and find his way on the field? It's a possibility.
It's a possibility, man. I mean, because of course, coming in, like people think that he is coming in because Darnell Mooney may not be ready for week 1. And I don't think it was necessarily because of that. I know what Coach was saying.
Appreciate it.
That Easton Stick was the one
brought
it to his attention. He was brought to the Falcons' attention because of Easton Stick, and those two played with the Chargers. So he was just, giving, saying shout out to y'all guys, man. What it do, family. But yeah, man, it just you seen it, and you just like, okay, you get that reference, you get that guy that's going to come in that can take the top off as well. When he first came in, he was supposed to be one of those guys for Jacksonville, and he did show some promise. But like you said, injuries, and we already know your best ability is your availability, and so that's why he kind of been bouncing around like that. But if he can come in and carve himself out a role and show those signs of those old, some videos that you will see, you can look up and pull up on YouTube about it. If he can show some of that, then I believe he possibly can carve out a way. My thing would be, if he does, who in the world would you be getting rid of? That would be the good question, because you got Nick Nash, who's also coming along in camp as well. He's been doing well. You have Chris Blair out there. You have the Cordero Hodges, who is, who was running with the first team on the second day of training camp. They had him and a couple of players running with the first team. Of course, that was due to Darnell Mooney not being present. So, you look at it, it's like you do have a full locker room of wide receivers. It's going to be competition all over, and that's what you exactly expect. It's going to be up to the coaching staff to figure out which one of these guys is best primed to work in Zach Robinson's scheme. So I feel like it's going to be constant competition going on within this camp, and you see it early. So expect it more and more within this camp, and I can't wait until they get to the pads, and especially like with those joint practices, I can't wait, because it's still friendly fire right now, but you still have to have a guy with cruel intentions coming at you, a guy who's not a friendly, so you can kind of like, let your hair down, so to speak, really get after it.
Facts. Before we keep going, man, I gotta give a shout out to my boy Zay. My boy Zay had a birthday not too long ago, so shout out to Zay. Happy birthday, my boy. Nephew, as I called him, because he youngin, but he's staying on the right track. So shout out to Zay, man. Happy birthday, my guy. But yeah, I agree, man. DJ could bring another element to this team. Could be another one of those guys. He could be a Darnell Mooney type impact if everything works out. But the crazy thing is, in the NFL, is all in who you know as well. Because if you want from Easton Stick, the third string quarterback, you probably wouldn't have got this chance, because actually DJ was thinking about retiring. He had it on the table, and I think he was probably gonna hang him up at 28 years old. And yeah, I know he's still young, but those injuries catch up, and they down the road, they can get you. But as I look at his numbers, man, remember second year in the league in 2019, he was a Pro Bowler, had 73 catches for 1,000 yards and eight touchdowns. So he's done his thing, man. He's just succumbed to injuries. Now, his last season, when he played at least 15 games, was 2 seasons ago in Carolina, but he still only had 35 catches for 525 yards and 5 touchdowns, but he averaged 15 yards a catch. So it lets you know that he can take the top off and get versatile, and that's what they need. So yeah, I mean, this was
be all just Mooney. Mooney can do it, but that's not what his, that's not the player that Mooney is. Mooney can make catches, at all three levels. And we know that Drake isn't the take the top off guy. Drake is going to do all the dirty work underneath. I also seen Drake in the slot against Jesse Bates a couple of times too. So, so they're going to continue to use him in that slot role. But you think about it, he had a career year of being placed all over the place on the outside, in the slot, a couple of times being in motion. So it's just like they used Drake well. He benefited off of it. Now, as long as we can have Darnell Mooney remaining healthy, so we can see what he can also do. I mean, we've seen and also don't have some of those drops, man, because I know he's so fast and he's thinking about what he's about to do next. Sometimes how you try to take off before you actually secure the ball. So I want to see him do more of that, but I just want to see him healthy, because I believe in Darnell Mooney being able to be that guy to really at all three levels. Like I said, being able to catch.
Right.
His catch radius is pretty darn good too. And honestly, I think Darnell is a player that's really ready to show everybody that, look, I'm a consistent 1,000-yard receiver. I just need to you just got to give him the opportunities.
He has a talent, because you got to remember this guy had a damn 1,000-yard season with Mitchell Trubisky as the quarterback. Just think about that. If you can get a 1,000-yard season with Mitchell Trubisky as the quarterback, hey, you're good to go. But what I love about Darnell Mooney, he's one of those guys that always come through in the clutch. When you have a second and long or a third and long, he's always one of those guys that's going to, find a way to get open. So yeah, with DJ coming in, I think he pushes Mooney. I think he pushes Ray. He pushes everybody because they're going to be competing for playing time. And Ray McLeod, to me, overachieved last year. Like I've been saying, you get a guy like DJ who's a little bit bigger. And he's just as fast, if not faster. So I think Ray could have some competition at that number 3 spot. Then you let's talk about Nick Nash as well. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who stays and who goes, because at the end of the day, it's only about 6 to 7 spots at the wide receiver position, and it's going to be a battle every single week during practice and camp. So Jerome 69, see your question. We're gonna answer it as soon as we get to the back end of the show. So we talked about Kyle Pitts. We talked about wide receiver today and yesterday. There were actually scrums and fights from our guy James Pierce, and you love to see it, because as I've been saying for God knows how long, we need those guys with a couple of screws loose that have an edge. And that to me, and the media try to take it out of context, because we know Josh Kendall from The Athletic, great writer. He tried to make it seem like it was a bad thing, but when you have guys that are, fired up and ready to play and just bring another type attitude to the team, you just love to see it. Because actually, how many guys that we had with double-digit sacks in the last decade? Well, let's put 15 years. How many?
Hey, man, it's not been many, I'll tell you that. But my thing is too, man. It's like, come on, fam. Like, I love the scuffles. I ain't gonna lie. I love the attitude. I love, two guys getting in the trenches, pushing and shoving.
What's up, Kenny?
And letting each other know what's good, family. Letting everybody know, hey, man, I'm the alpha. No, I'm the alpha. Hey, man, go out there and prove it. I love to hear it. But I will say, they make a good point to where they say they want everybody to go to that very limit, like go to the edge, but don't jump off the cliff, because it can transition to the regular season. And if it does that, that's not going to bode well for the Atlanta Falcons. We have unnecessary penalties. We know penalties kill drives, and we know penalties extend drives for the offense when you're on defense. So I understand what Jeff Ulbrich was saying about pushing to the edge, but not necessarily like throwing that punch. So I get what he's saying, but at the end of the day, and I respect what he's saying, but at the end of the day, I still do like the attitude. I do like the scuffles. It's just to let you know, hey, look, we ain't no punks out here. It ain't no church boys out here necessarily. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but it's just like on the field, though, well, that's not what you need. So,
absolutely. And I just see, I saw him Thursday as well. And I looked at James Pierce. I was like, good God Almighty, this dude is
Towering
huge.
individual.
Man. And the closer he got to where we were standing, I was like, Jesus. The closer he got, he looked like he got 10 feet taller. So as I'm looking at, size, weight, all that, measurables, attitude, I think the Falcons got a complete steal with this guy. Everybody tried to clown us about this move, but when you look at what he's been doing in camp, what he's been doing in OTAs, he's just showing signs of he could be that next guy to take us to the next level. Him and Jalen Walker. So it's all, and we know they either gonna do his job. Jeff Ulbricht's gonna do his job, and hopefully Raheem Morris can follow suit and finish off everything when it comes to this defense.
Right.
But T. Terry said JPJ looking like the next coming of young LT. LT gave me give me 75% of LT. I would definitely agree with that. Definitely agree.
Right. Hey man, that's some big shoes to fill right there. LT, that's one of the best to ever do it at that position. But
right.
Hey, you think about it though, if you can get any of LT-esque type play out of James Pierce Jr.,
right,
I can tell you right now, the last thing that we're going to be hearing about is, oh, you guys gave up a draft pick. Because that just still drives me crazy. How like some people just ask like some of the oldest questions in the world, and you just hear some of the things in press conferences being asked. You just hear some of the things that's being asked, just amongst the fan base, and it's just crazy, man. Sometimes, man.
But to me, why not? If you can go get two game-changing pass rushers in the same
we already
draft,
been through this. We know,
and we already know next year is not guaranteed. It's not a strong pass rush class. So why jump the gun a year ahead? And with a trade this year, they can at least probably get a second or third round pick back, and that replaces that pick. Because as we know, any pick in the draft from first to last is a 50-50 crapshoot, no matter what, no matter how you look at it.
I mean, even the best GMs say that will have Super Bowls, multiple Super Bowl rings. They all say that the draft is a crapshoot. You're banking on the potential and the upside of what could be.
Absolutely.
But nothing is ever guaranteed. So, you look at that and you got to take that for what it is. But again, if we can get, I said, again, we used our first round pick next year. I like when Terry had said that, because that's exactly what we did. Because if you look at James Pierce Jr., tell me that this guy wouldn't be a first rounder in next year's draft anyway.
He would have been one in 2024 as well.
So it's just like, come on now, let's not be crazy up here now. Let's think about exactly the player, regardless of how you feel about him in this draft. He's still a first rounder in 24, right, 25, and in 26. So the Falcons still just use their assets early and not have to worry about that first rounder in next year's. And then, of course, we're going to the playoffs, doing what we're supposed to be. It's not going to be no top 15 pick. It's going to be in the 20s anyway. So be it.
And what I love to see how this kid and how they were using him when I was there Thursday, he was 3-point stance. He had his hands in the dirt. He can line up like that. So this is a good thing. And to learn from guys like Leonard Floyd, who's been around for a while and who's actually been a consistent sack guy in this league, to learn from him. And he's another huge monster. I think James Pierce has the right talent around him as far as talent and coaching to take his game to the next level in the NFL his first season. And like T. Terry said, you just give me 75% of fight and probably 8 to 10 sacks. And I think that's a successful rookie year. Because think about it. Jared Verse, he had only about 5 or 6 sacks last year, and he still won Defensive Rookie of the Year because of his impact. So if he can make that type of impact, I think the Falcons win that all day.
Yeah, man. And you look at it too, man. Shout out to just our defensive line, man. Shout out to these young guys, James Pierce Jr. Shout out to Jalen Walker. These guys are coming in to, set the tone. Like, see, I like the fact that we have young competition that's coming in to try to set the tone. Let the people know that, hey, man, I'm coming in to work. I understand that we have the vets, but I'm coming in to show people that I am a force to be reckoned with as well. And he said, I thought you said you can never have too many pass rushers.
Mills said, Mills said that. Millie Mills. Yeah.
And shout out to Leonard Floyd as well, because he's coming in being that teammate. And even though you did have the skirmish and everything, you still had like Leonard Floyd. He's in there. He ain't throwing any punches, but so he's pushing off. He's coming in to show that, hey, I'm with my guys, even though he just got here. And the fact that also that Jeff Ulbrich had talked about in the press conference about how he has a different motor from when it's just OTAs and spring training, spring warmups to now. Like now he's showing like a whole different side, because we're getting close to when it all matters. When we're getting close to, to it, when it's 0-0 and we have to win in losses. So like turn up that intensity. I love to see it. You love to see that out that veteran, because our young guys and guys who are trying to make the team can pick that up and adapt that and add it to their game and just show, hey, look, this is not a game out here. We're coming out here to play winning football.
Right. Absolutely. It was something that you saw on Camp Saturday that you wanted to share. Because I mean, it was a lot going on. But anything else at Camp Saturday that you wanted to share?
One thing about it, like I said, I know Xavier Watts, he was on the first teams getting some first team reps. Jordan Fuller was still around, and Jordan, again, this is Jordan Fuller's job to lose still. But Xavier Watts did get some first team reps. Also, Billy Bowman did get that get plenty of reps at the nickel corner. Him and D. Offer was kind of rotating, and that just indicates even more to like what we were saying about the cornerbacks. Those two guys are going to be battling out for that nickel spot. We're going to see if D. Offer can beat him out. Not sure, because Billy Bowman, he's all over the place, man. Like the things that you see on tape in college, Billy Bowman is flying around that field. Honestly,
that dude built like a linebacker. Dude built like a linebacker.
Yeah, man. Billy Bowman, he's doing his thing, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. It, and like at the end of the day, I know it's the beginning, so it's like again, and it's not no pads yet, so you don't want to get too high, but you are encouraged by the little that you do see so far from these guys, man, because they're continuing to come out there, like I said, to show that they all are a force, even though they're rookies or just young guys that are not having a lot of experience.
I didn't see much of him, Kenzel. He was pretty much over on the side, just working out running drills. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't. He probably saw him Saturday, but I just really saw him on working, drills on Thursday. So I didn't see much of him.
More so second and third team. I haven't seen him with the first strings at all yet. Because even when Kyle Pitts wasn't playing with the 11 on 11s, Josh Simon did not get into the 11 on 11. From what I saw, I did not see Josh Simon get into the first team 11-11. So it's just been second, third team, offside work, stuff like that so far.
And I love to see what they're doing with Kyle Pitts. When I was there Thursday, he was working with the wide receivers and the wide receiver drills. So it lets me know that they're probably going to use him in every single facet that they can. And he'll be run a lot of routes from the slot. And as we know, that's one of his strong points. I think 2 years ago, he lined up about 60-70% in the slot. So I think he's going to be a bigger weapon this year, and they're giving us a glimpse. So, hey, we'll see. Offensive line holding up very well, very well. Like you said, go ahead. Go ahead.
We'll say this. It's been like first day, I feel like that was all offensive line. Can we agree on that, Smitty?
Agreed.
I feel like the offensive line more so. But that defensive line did return back with some vengeance, because we've seen a lot of pressure, a lot of blitzes. Zach Harrison, I know even Berto had called it out. He was like about being in the wide 9 and just would give him that running start to come after like the quarterback and everything. Like you had him that way. Then you had also more pressure you seen from Ruka Roro. Ruka Roro in back-to-back days has gotten a sack, because it was reported today that he got another sack. But
that dude is strong as an ox, my guy. That dude is strong.
Coming through. But somebody else that had a great day, great reps and everything, was Khalil Kareem. You have to also think about him too. He put on some size. They had him in the middle a few times, had him coming off the edge a few times. It was just like they were just rotating different guys coming in. But again, like the bookends has been Arnold Ebiketie and Leonard Floyd. everybody else outside has been kind of like mixed and matched, trying to see where they can place them. But yeah, man, Zach Harrison coming after the guys, Ruka Roro breaking through the line and stuff like that too, man. So you think about it, that can be another reason why we had like these scuffles and stuff like that in practice, because these guys, this defensive line is coming after, so the offensive line and coming after Michael Penix. And it's great because you have iron sharpening iron. We have one of the best offensive lines overall when you think about it in the league. And then you have this defensive line who's trying to come and prove something. Braylon Trice is looking decent. He is. I mean, again, he's still coming along. He's been mostly with the second teams. Me personally, again, I haven't seen him with the first teams yet, but I have seen him doing a lot of second team work. So he's coming along. You know what I'm saying? It's still a long training camp, even though I know it feels short. So it's more days to come. So I'm pretty sure they'll increase him because he is going to be a focal point. But Braylon Trice was looking good. Brandon Dorless, I'm not sure if I said this already, but Brandon Dorless, he got first team reps as well. And we need to see what Brandon Dorless has. He looked decent as well, getting after the quarterback, generating some pressure. He did generate some pressure as well. But for what I see, he did get not necessarily like stonewalled, but like kind of like pushed off the spot a little bit. I did see that like once, but Dorless had good reps though. So like don't think that he's trash or anything like that. I'm just saying,
it's early, man. It's early in training camp, so people knocking the rust off from the off season. So it's gonna be a while before everybody get to where they need to be. And to answer your question, I've been hearing good things about Braylon Trice. He's looking pretty strong, just like he was before he got injured. So he's healing properly. He's been, doing everything he can to get back to 100%, and that's a good thing because if he's 100%, I feel like we'll get some pass rush from him too. So you can't never have too many pass rush mills. I agree with that. But some are going to get more than others. And to me, that's a good problem to have because as time goes on, you're going to lose some. So the ones that you keep, you won't have to coach them as much. So that's a good thing. But my boy Jerome 69 had a question, and then Josh had a question. But Jerome said, should we take a flyer on Christian Wilkins? Played with AJ at Clemson. Yes, he did. If we can make him room for him cap wise, that's an excellent question.
Man, listen, it's the thing about it with that. Do you like the familiarity? Because I'm pretty sure AJ would probably speak on the character of Christian Wilkins. I'm trying to figure out. I heard of something about a foot injury or something like that, and for a pass rusher like him, I will need him to have, his feet. So, I don't know if he's not necessarily going through an injury. I don't know if this is just contract, over money or whatnot. Apparently, I read that he had like an incident with another teammate, and that's the reason why he got these two. So it's like a lot going on around Christian Wilkins. But the crazy thing about it, Terry tried to go after Christian Wilkins before we signed Kirk Cousins.
Right.
So it's like now if you can sign him for a cheaper deal, I know this.
Yeah, he probably can because he lost 35 million. They voided 35 million of that deal.
Right,
so he's still going to get paid something this year. Whatever he gets paid, if you can add on to that number, I think you have a chance. 1 year deal. See how it works out. But at the same time,
salary cap situation, we would have to cut somebody to really make it work.
But again, I know who that person will be. But I'm gonna say this: if you can work out them character issues, and I don't know what the weird thing they were talking about, but it did sound good. If you can find out what those character issues are, if you can find out a way to squeeze it under the cap, which I think if they go get a Christian Wilkins, because you got to remember he coming off a serious injury from last year. So first, is he healed fully? That would be the big question. And he is still young, Josh. But character issues, money, and all that good stuff. But
I'm more so worried about the injuries. Like, is he fully healthy? Like the character thing, I feel like we have enough guys in here who are dogs in the locker room and the coaching staff. I believe we have enough guys that have influence on the coaching staff to be able to calm all that quote unquote character issues. My thing is everybody has character issues nowadays. It sounds like, because you see what they said about James Pierce Jr. But whatever, I digress on that. At the end of the day, I'm looking at it like this. If he's healthy and we can get him on a good deal, cool. But again, our salary cap situation is not the best right now. We're less than 7, I believe, in the salary cap. So somebody's got to go. And the only person that I'm looking at, if you bring in Christian Wilkins, I hate to say it, but I got to, but for the money, to make the money make sense, David Amenyata cannot be on this team if you bring in
On your
Christian
monitor, yeah. You knew where I was going with that. You already knew where I was going. But
Wilkins.
yeah, to pick up a veteran, you got to lose a veteran. Money wise, David Onyemata only makes sense. Um, even though we probably need that veteran leadership on that defensive line, but to get rid of a veteran, you got to bring in one, and that would be the only case. Now, the only other way that could work out if you find a way to cut somebody else or two.
You would have to cut multiple people.
That could combine and make a legitimate number when it comes to cap space. Right. So that would be the only other way. So yeah, he would be the odd man out. And I hate to say that because, like I said, you need those veterans with those young guys, Ororo and Dorless. You need a guy like Onyemata to help those guys along. But you got to look at Christian Wilkins as well. Christian Wilkins, 22 and a half sacks in his career. Just 2 years ago, as an interior lineman, he had 9, which I think was top 3 in the league among interior defensive linemen. So we know what he brings. He's going to bring you a tough run stopper. He's going to bring you a guy that can get out to the quarterback. It's just that injury, and can you pay him? Those are the only 2 questions that I have. And if they can pay him, I'm all for it.
Hey, man, I can't be mad at it because we already have guys. But again, like I said, my major thing is the injuries. It's not even necessarily the money because if, like he's young, still in his prime, so to speak. We tried to sign him already. We missed on that. So, and it could be a blessing in disguise at that time because he did go through some injuries. Maybe he's able to get healthy somewhere down the line because he's not actually in football right now. So maybe he's able to, work and rehab and get right. But if you can sign him, and make him a part of this team, hey, at the end of the day, I said Troy Anderson is on the bubble and he's starting on the Pope list right now. We're going to have to see exactly where we go for that because my thing is this. When you're away from football for so long, like think about the last time we seen Troy Anderson actively on the NFL field. So now think about this. He's been working, he's been healing, trying to recover, right? But he's still not on the field. So regardless, Troy Anderson is going to have some hurdles when he gets back on the field because when you're away from football, he's been away from football nearly a calendar year. When you think about what that Saints game, and right now we're in the month of July, on the way to August.
So we probably have like 9-10 months.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like a good smooth 8 to 9 months, smooth. He's got to ramp back up, and Troy Anderson, if he's not able to do that, in training camp, at least for more days, like what do we do with this guy? This guy was supposed to be this freakish athlete. This guy that's played multiple positions come in, and we've seen not saying we didn't see the potential. We've seen him what he did against the Saints in that game. Like that's the Troy Anderson that we're expecting to see on a weekly basis. But unfortunately, because of injuries, we cannot. So that's why, like I said, back to Christian Wilkins, I would love to have him, but are you healthy? Because I don't want no more guys on our squad that's taking up roster spots. And but constantly do not practice, constantly, healthy scratches or constantly, a scratch because of this and that. It's just I'm trying to stay healthy as much as we possibly can so we can go somewhere because this team has so much potential.
And he's only played in 9 games the last 2 seasons. Out of a possible 34 games. So that's why Chris said it from the jump. 34 games and you only played 9. Best ability is
bad math. That's bad math.
Hey, y'all got to think too. You got to think too. Terry Fontenot sees the writing on the wall. This is why they signed Divine Diablo. They knew that they were going to have another versatile guy, another guy with speed.
Been shining too, by the way.
Right.
Divine Diablo. I was watching him run step for step with Bijan Robinson, who also is going to be dogging this year.
But think about it. He's a former safety.
Yeah,
so
he is.
He knows how to cover.
Bijan gonna be dogging though this year, man. He would been, man, the past 2 days the 2 days that I've seen, he putting moves on. I know he put a move on in 11-11s too, man, and he ended up going on to the end zone as well, man. That Bijan is special, man. It's like you see why we drafted him, even though we do have somebody capable like Tyler Algier as well. You know, so you do see why the Falcons drafted this guy. This guy's gonna be a monster. He was ranked 62 on that list, that countdown list. You know,
I'm glad you brought that up.
He's gonna be top 25, bro, at least this season.
Let me ask you, what did you think about that ranking, and what do you think he should have been ranked?
Well, I mean, to be fair, because Bijan is just coming into the league, do I feel like he should have been a little higher? Yes. Do I feel like he should have been like top 20, top 30? We don't necessarily have to put Bijan
I say top 50 at least, top 50.
And that's respectable. I can deal with that. I really can. But the fact that they put him at 62, I like it because he has the opportunity to grow from that now. Like I remember when Julio Jones first hit, like I don't remember the exact number, but remember he was like somewhere in that area, like back in the 70s or something like that. And they said like he was going to be the future. And I was like, man, Julio going to be one of these top guys. And then next thing you know, it's like you couldn't keep him out of the top 25 for the next umpteen years. So it's just like Bijan is that type of player, like a dynamic player, somebody that can just change the field, somebody that can take it to the house. He's on the way to that. I'm telling you, I feel like Bijan this year is going to finally break that run that he's been looking for, that 60, 70-yard run type stuff, big games all the time.
Crazy thing is, bro, I said it when I saw his footwork. It's just like Saquon. Bijan and Saquon, with their footwork, they remind me of Barry Sanders, both of them. Because when you get that one cut from either one of those guys, they can take it to the house. And we always saw him, Barry Sanders make 1 or 2 cuts. 9 times out of 10, you're not catching Barry Sanders. And Barry Sanders was only 5'8". These guys are 5'11", 6 feet. So just think about that. So, I mean, with the number 62 ranking, I felt like it was disrespectful just a little bit because you talk about a guy with almost 2,000 scrimmage yards and 15 touchdowns. So think about that. I mean, how many running backs do that?
I mean, what you probably can say, Jahmyr Gibbs. But the thing I want to real quick about Jahmyr Gibbs, you think about it. Jahmyr Gibbs is on an offensive line and a team
best in the NFL.
Exactly.
Offensive line best in the NFL.
But think about this. It didn't happen overnight. They had to take a second to get to know each other. They had to get that camaraderie and that chemistry that's always underrated in sports. Once they got that, they got their backs. They had got David Montgomery. They got Jahmyr Gibbs. And they was able to take off. That's the same thing that's about to happen with the Atlanta Falcons. We just hadn't taken off yet. But, you know, so we're in the same timeline. And this year is the year where I can really see it, you know, especially if Ryan Nuzil can be way better than what people are giving him credit for. You know, I believe that this team can go to the next level, like seriously, as far as like being one of those top teams, to be a top rushing team, a top passing team, you know, and be one of those teams that don't turn the ball over like that, be one of those teams that does cause turnovers though. Because again, like you said, we're already practicing punching the ball out. Shout out to Peanut Tillman, one of the best to ever do it, if not the best. So it's just like, man, the Falcons are building. We're in the trenches right now. Of course, I already know it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be like, well, we're still rookies, blah, blah, blah. We haven't proved anything. That is all true. And for the ones that are content creators and people who put it out there about, well, the Falcons ain't did nothing, we're getting too excited, et cetera, et cetera. I get that, and they're not wrong. But you can't deny what you see, and you can't deny what you're hearing, you know, so these people are saying about these different players. You have to be encouraged somewhat to see exactly what's going on. Now, the realistic thing is, out of all this that's being said, it still got to transition on the field. And if it don't do that, it don't mean squat.
Facts. So, absolutely. I see 2 people in the chat say 2,000 yards. I would love to see Bijan go for 2,000 yards. But I'm telling y'all, if he goes for 2,000 yards, you're taking away from Michael Penix's talent. You've got to be able to be a super balanced team for a guy to run for 2,000 yards. You saw Saquon last year.
But wait, would that necessarily be a bad thing? Like, I
No, it
feel
wouldn't.
like
No, it wouldn't. No,
I
it
was about to
wouldn't,
say, I
because
feel like
you take
in
a
my
lot. You take a lot of the pressure off of Michael Penix's shoulders. That's true.
right,
But
because this is
at the same
essentially his
time,
rookie season.
but what I'm saying is, think about Drake London. Think about Kyle Pitts. Think about Darnell Mooney and these other receivers. You would be taking from them, and them being explosive, putting up points. Say like if he runs for 200 some yards a game, how many catches do you expect him to have? And that takes away from touchdowns as well,
There's
because the
no way
less
I would
attempts.
run Bijan in 200 yards a game. I'm not getting. I'm sorry, Bijan.
Exactly.
As
That's
far
exactly
we
what I was
still
about.
have
That was
guys.
exactly where I was
I'm
going.
looking at him. I'm looking at. If you look right behind Bijan Robinson, there's a guy stand right there. You know, what I'm saying, looking at guys. He's wearing 25. We have Tyler Algier as well. We don't need to run Bijan ever 200 yards unless so we just don't have guys behind him. And I still don't want to do that because I've seen what happened to Christian McCaffrey.
And Devontae, I agree with you, man. I'm fine. I'm honestly fine with that. I'm honestly fine with that. Because if you look at, if you also look at it as the 300 carries that he had last year, that would be my limit right there. Because if he has 300 carries last year, he got almost 1,500 yards. So that would absolutely be my max, 300 to 325 carries for Bijan Robinson. And you got to think about it too. He's actually catching the ball at the backfield. So that's another 50, 60 catches. So he's going to get his touches, man. He got almost 400 touches last year. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want it either, to be honest.
Cannot forget about that guy that's
Appreciate you, Terry.
Robinson.
Have a good night, my brother.
Terry, good night, brother. Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Those two guys that's in this picture right now. You have two guys, two capable backs. You don't need to run anybody into the ground. Bijan is dynamic. Why not have a guy? What's good, family? But why not have a guy be this dynamic for years to come? Why run him into the ground when you have this guy named Tyler Algier behind him? I believe that you should pay both guys, have that dual running back, as long as both guys are capable and willing to share the willing now, because you got to be willing and willing to share the rock. Why not? Now, if one guy wants to go get more money and stuff like that, that is what it is. It's business and nothing but personal. But as long as you have these guys, you need to utilize them so they can take pressure off of one another, not run them into the ground. And to have somebody to have, like, would you like Bijan Robinson to have a 2,000-yard season and then disappear like Sean Alexander? Is that what you want, Falcon fans?
And that took a toll on his. That took a toll on his body too.
Man, that man had one more off the map for like the next 2 years. Man, look at Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh my God! Don't okay, we're not going there. We're not going there. But Josh had a question, man. He said, "Do y'all think we're gonna trade Kirk before the season start?" I absolutely say only if an injury happens, but absolutely not.
I don't think so. I think even if an injury does happen, it still has to be the right deal. We're close to the season now. At the end of the day, expensive behind backup. Yes, most expensive ever. Yes, but at this point, I mean, Kirk's not looking trash in training camp either.
He's actually looking pretty good.
Yeah, day one pretty good. Right. Day two, from what I've seen between the 2 days, day two was definitely better than day one for Kirk. He had some zip on the ball, and honestly, like when you look at it, for him being a backup, it's like, okay, yeah, we want him off this team. I understand, collectively as a fan base. But at this point, the way he's looking, he looks like he's more healthy than what he was toward the end of the season. Let me say that. But at the end of the day, I don't have to like the guy for him to sit on the side with a hat on his head and hold that tablet and give my starting quarterback, Michael Penix, tips and tricks and stuff like that, because he still is under contract. I don't mind. But I mean, if he goes, he goes. But if he's here, he's here. At the end of the day, that's how I'm with it. So I think
I was thinking that 2 days, but with Justin Fields coming back, not really being hurt,
right?
I think Justin Fields. I think his job is safe. Who's the backup in New York? If y'all know the backup in New York, drop the name in the comment box. But
it was you, Smitty. It ain't you.
Oh no, it ain't me. Shit, no.
Thought
But
you were
yeah, when I saw Justin Fields get hurt, Berto ass was out there yelling, "He going to New York, Kirk."
bro, that jump was funny. I was like, Berto. I said the man body still
Tyrod
warm.
Taylor.
Berto was ordered. That jump was funny. He said, "Get ready, Kirk. About to get shipped out." And I was like, Berto, the man body still warm. Golly, Justin Fields is still alive.
Hey,
Like,
you know what I said? You know what I told him? Look at your ass.
right. That joke was funny.
That was funny.
That's why I said, as a fan base, I understand. We want them off the team. But let's still be smart about it. Because regardless, even if we hold them all the way
absolutely true. Absolutely true. A lot of serious injury, always non-contact. That's absolutely true.
Right.
And we just don't know now. Justin Fields could come back. They eased him back into play, but we all know turf toe not a joke. Just ask Dion.
Yeah, it was a dislocated toe, but he was running back out there on the field the next day. He was running over.
They popped it back in place.
So I'm saying, shoot it up a little bit, man. He gonna be fine. That toe gonna be fine. They're not going to trade for Kirk just off of a toe. Not that kind of toe.
Think about it. They not really ready to get rid of Kirk like that. Because think about it. How many number 2 quarterbacks other than Teddy Bridgewater on the market right now?
Oh man, Craig crazy, man. That Diddy's lawyer. What's going on, boy? Craig, wow, boy. But he said, did you see Raheem practicing using timeouts during camp, or was he stashing it in the back pocket? Well, fortunately for Coach, he didn't have to worry about a clock ticking really necessarily at all. Everything was controlled environment. No timeouts to be made or anything like that. Man, a trip.
Facts.
But for turf toe, I do remember that. But again, Justin Fields had a dislocated toe, not turf toe. But yes, I do remember that. I hated that. Shoot, man, Julio, that Super Bowl season, he played mostly with the ligaments in that toe gone.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I remember back in the day when Eddie George got a turf toe injury, man, it ended his career. So I mean, it can be devastating down the road. So we'll see what happens, man. But look, another great episode, man. We just giving y'all a quick recap of what we seen, what I seen on day one, and what A1 seen over the weekend, his 2 days. Man, I can't wait for the season to start. Go ahead. Before we get out of here.
Shout out to all the Falcon fans that showed up in full force this entire weekend, man. Again, you had guys like Myles Garrett, who said he's been covering this team and has never seen the training camp ever that packed for any season prior to this, as long as he's been covering the Falcons. You've seen guys like Terry Fontenot come out there on the field. You've seen guys like Raheem Morris speaking to the fans, Terry speaking to the fans. We got a picture with Terry Fontenot. It was so cool, so he came over. He really was busy and he had things to do. And we just, chanting his name, Terry. And, since then he finally was like, all right. And then he ran over there, took a selfie with us. It was dope. That was really cool of him to do that. The players coming over, signing different things. Got a picture with Kobe Bryant. Like just leveling with the guys. I know Jack Spade had a whole thing going on with the players as well, asking them questions. And Joe, funny man, that boy Matthew Bergeron, he's so down to earth and level headed too, man. I was like, man, that ain't that boy Matthew Buckgoat Bergeron. He was like, what's going on and everything. Man, Bergeron's a trip, man. But it's good, man. It was just all love, all good vibes. The kids had good times, getting stuff signed by all these different players. Ran into AJ Terrell's little brother too as well. I said him and Jack Spade had a little thing going at it back and forth. But I said he's cool as heck too, man. Repping that Westlake. So it just, man, all the way around, good vibes. Oh, spoke to Tori McElhaney. She came over and hollered at us, man. Giving us what's good. Eric Parker, man. Rise up.
E. Parker. Got talking about E. Parker the other day. Shout out to him, man.
Yes, man.
Appreciate you, E. Parker.
That was awesome seeing him, man. And I know, he's been one of those weekend warriors too. He went today. So, so shout out to everybody that showed up today. I know Carrie, she pulled up as well. Hopefully, she's getting back.
Safe trip back home.
Safe travels actually well too. So man, that's my thing. Berto came down from Rhode Island. Kerry coming up from Florida. It just
Man,
that
hold on.
that we have for Falcon fans, man.
I was gonna put him on Front Street, but I'm not gonna do it. Did you see that plate that he had at the tap the other day? Yesterday?
No, I did not.
This dude had a whole 20 piece
of
wings.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? You said it's plate. Yeah. I did see it. Yeah, man. I seen it like night. Yeah, you're right. You going to sleep after all that, family.
He better not never talk about me eating chicken wings never again.
Hey, man. But again, like I said, real quick, shout out to Tory McElhaney. You know, I said coming to speaking to me, Big Low, Jack Spade. We was talking about Kobe Bryant and maybe a strategic move that we're doing right now. We was also talking about AJ Terrell, just the growth of him just like, you know, being considered as a quiet, mild-mannered, almost nearly a mute type coming out of Clemson, but how he's evolved into a guy that, you know what I'm saying, he's still chill. You can tell he's still that chill, laid-back dude, but he's more vocal now than ever. You know what I'm saying? She was just cool as heck. You know what I'm saying, too, man. So we took a selfie and all that stuff of that together, too. That was great. I'm trying to remember. It was something else that had happened that I'm forgetting.
Our boy Casey Washington came over there to talk to us Thursday.
Oh yeah, Casey chopped it up with us. Yes, man. Casey chopped it up with us real good. Caden Ellis, who signed literally everybody's stuff. Everybody. Yep. Like they had to pull Caden away because he was literally going down the line, signing everything. But that's what it's all about, man. You know what I'm saying? Just giving back to the fans. I mean, most of these people, you know what I'm saying, traveling long ways, like I said, so coming from different states. Oh, Deke Ruffin. Ran into Deke Ruffin as well, man. Salute
all
and
the way
shout
to
out
California.
to our guy, Deke Ruffin. Let me tell you about Mr. Legendary Deke Ruffin. This guy is so legendary that he flew in that morning of Saturday morning for Family and Friends Day, flew in, jumped into the rental, and headed straight to training camp. And made it in time to where it wasn't, you know, it's too crazy as far as the lines and all that stuff like that. And made it in time, him and his son, man. That was legendary.
That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about.
I love that's what I'm saying, man. Our Falcon fans are some of the best fans in the world. We just want to win. That's all. I've said that before, and I'll continue to say that. We are an underrated fan base. We are diehards. You can't be a bandwagon Falcon fan because we haven't necessarily won anything. We are a fan base that support this team, love this team, cherish this team, and we're just ready to see this team win. So we all can be crying and running in the streets and yelling and screaming and hitting backflips and stuff like that, talking about rise up because we rising up a championship. You know, it's a Lombardi trophy. That's all we wait for.
Hey, Tony, right? He sure was there. Them boys don't grow, man. You got to think though. Matty Ice about 6'5", so those boys could easily be 6'7", 6'8" when they through growing. Because sometimes the sons outgrow their fathers, so those guys could be up there. Shit, who knows? Because the crazy thing is, I have a cousin, man. His mom was, she passed away. My auntie, she is about 6 feet, and his dad was like 6'3". But my cousin ended up being like 6'8". So yeah, so yeah.
In a minute, we ain't gonna be able to call them ice cubes no more.
No. We gotta make up another name. They're gonna be ice baby, I guess, because they're gonna be up there. But yeah, man. But look, man, I'm telling you, I'm so excited for this season, man, and y'all gotta stay tuned in with us because there's something about this season just feels so similar to 2016. I don't know what it is, but it's just the energy, the vibe, the players, just everything. It just feels similar. You think about Brian Cox. I talked about him as a defensive line coach in 2016. You bring in a guy, Nate Ollie, who has that same demeanor of putting defensive linemen in position to make plays.
I can't wait to see what Nate Ollie has for this defense. You know, when the
he absolutely in Tampa. Yeah, he was in Tampa at the end of last year.
Yeah, so, I've seen that.
Yeah, so
that's fine. Shoot, man. Hopefully, Bijan Robinson break those ankles and go right to the touchdown, right on Deion Jones. Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't it though? But yeah, man, you know what to do, man. Before we get out of there, man, tell everybody where to find you.
Hey man, great show. Thank y'all for all pulling up, man. Shout out to everybody who went live. One time for the fan, for my ATL Sports, Big Low Country, Recondo. Yeah, I seen Recondo go live as well, man. Gotta get up with Recondo, man. That's a Falcons fan that just seems like the enigma of all the group because he'll go live. He doing this thing, but man, we got to get
Right.
Recondo back in here, man, as well too. But shout out to everybody again that went out to training camp over this weekend. Salute to each and every last one of y'all. If y'all had to take off work or if y'all had to use PTO time, whatever you had to do, I'm glad you guys were able to get out there and enjoy that experience. Me personally, this is my first training camp. I absolutely loved it. Love Thursday, love Saturday even more. And I know I plan on trying to get to one more, maybe when the joint practices and they got the pads on. Because that's when it's really going to get to the nitty gritty. So I'm trying to see if I can get to one of those. But regardless, even if I don't, Thursday and Saturday was everything. Meeting people, fellowship, and going out to eat, all that stuff like that. Man, you know, the stuff that really matters. You know, the stuff that really matters.
Yeah, it do.
And the Falcon fan base, man, you know, all coming together, no beef, no drama, no mess.
Appreciate you, bro, brother.
Supporting this logo right here. And shout out to Ryan of the Birdcage, man. Shout out to K-Dub. K-Dub pulled up as well, man. Shout out to him. Got to meet him as well.
Man, I didn't know K-Dub that tall, man. K-Dub like he can block some.
No, man. K-Dub looked like he was tall all the time to me, man. But yeah, now K-Dub got some height on him for sure. Shout out to him, man, coming up, pulling down there. All the Falcon fans, like, y'all know who they are, like the Dirty Bird Nest. I know Miss Karina. I know she's everywhere. And people like her, you know, so all the diehards, because I don't know everybody's name personally, but y'all know who y'all are, the ones who are always at the games, the road games, all that stuff that is supporting, always rising up. Salute to everybody, like I said, that showed up. I can't salute y'all enough because I love what I saw being around, just the energy of my Falcon fans, loyal Falcon fans. And, hey, man, salute to everybody. I can't say it enough, man. This was an excellent weekend, and we showed out. And let's continue to show out, especially when the season goes on. But for me, A1 Forever Sports, that's the platform on YouTube. Please come over, like, comment, and subscribe. Find your peace because positive energy always creates elevation. Catch me at the Hawks Digest as well. Me and Walter Pollard doing our thing over there. And y'all nearly got us to 2,600 as far as subs over there at Hawks Digest, growing so rapidly. Also, Twitter, A1 Forever or A1 Rock. You may see it. Also, Instagram, A1 Forever as well. TikTok, the real A1 Forever. Let's get ready for more days of training camp. Let's get ready to hear more good things, you know, from our O-line, D-line, and specialty players, man. I'm just ready to get after it, man. Almost close to regular season.
Yeah, Ryan, y'all go check out the Birdcage LLC on YouTube. He says Zach Harrison, his sleeper, and his breakout player is James Pierce Jr.
Man, I'm still very high on Zach Harrison. Ever since last season.
So the way we looking at it, man, everybody expects this defensive line to turn around because it's just well past time. Because when you draft two monsters like that, these two guys right here, you expect change, and I think change is going to come with that defensive line. But y'all know where to catch me, man, on Smitty Sports Machine, on YouTube, on this channel that y'all on right now. If y'all haven't subscribed, man, y'all just tell me in the comments why. Because I'm bringing y'all content every single day. Just give me a like, man. Y'all ain't got to subscribe. Just give me a like. A like go a long way, man. You ain't got to subscribe. Just give me a like. But yeah, catch me at FatBoyChanel_21 on Twitter as well. Because as A1 know, I'm always over there blowing it up too. And again, I talk Hawks. I want to talk Braves, but this year just not that year. So I'm gonna leave it be. Yeah. But again, I still feel like it's positive stuff coming for the Braves as well. They just got to retool. That's all they got to do because that's what winners do. They retool. They don't rebuild. They retool. And thank y'all for tuning in, man, for another late night show, man. It's dark out there, and tomorrow is the start of a new week. And I pray y'all have a positive work week. And I always tell y'all, man, brush them haters off because one thing about it, they gonna come. And you just got to brush them off because, look, if God bless you with something, he got it for you and only you. And If he tell you to keep going,
shake 'em off song.
Hey, if he
And I ain't
God
talking about
keep pushing you,
talking about that old
right.
shake 'em off, shake 'em off,
Right.
shake 'em off, shake 'em off, shake 'em
Right.
off.
So
But
if
y'all
God
don't
got
know
something for
about
you,
that old
it's
school
just
hip-hop.
for you. So y'all keep pushing, have a positive work week, and we gonna keep bringing y'all content, and we'll see y'all probably in the next 24 hours because I know it's some news breaking somewhere. But for my boy A1, it's your boy Antoine Smith signing off. Like I said, y'all have a good night, have a great work week, and we'll holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.